Hello viewers, you're welcome to the telecast of Potter's House Christian Mission, Ibadan, Nigeria. It promises to be a time of blessing on each episode. And I know that the Lord is going to bless you greatly through this program that is called What Saith the Scriptures.
So it is good to resemble your father. It is another thing to be responsible to your father. Now, young men are very, very impatient. They don't like the company of elders. It's an old school. Am I correct? You like to be in the company of your contemporaries, even though they are temporary companies. Eternity is not as far as you thought. It's just a step. David said, as long as the Lord liveth, there is simply a step between me and death. Though everybody must die, though God does not respect anybody, but he doesn't joke with salvation. I don't know whether you are also a person who has a spiritual father, a man who bears oversight over your life, in whose company you have found joy, you have found grace, and you have found help. What do I say? I can't hear you. The trouble of the prodigal son was because when he had cash, he felt he would never need his father anymore. He went to a far country, and it was not long when he entered into riotous living. And the Bible said, there he wasted his substance. I hope you read something like that in the Bible. Now, substance, for me, is not just money. The Bible tells me that faith is the substance of things hoped for. What that young man wasted was life. What connected him with his father. He thought money could give him everything that his father could offer him. It's not true. So I wish I could tell you that one of the great lessons I have learned from Saul, the son of Kish, is because he understood the importance of his father. At this point in time, he was already married. If you read the story very well, you will see that at this age, at this point that the Bible was talking about, Saul was not a bachelor. He was married. And yet, he was in the company of his father. You cannot live your life without the input of elders. Can I request that you seek time to pray and ask the Lord to give you a father, if you don't, a spiritual father? Somebody that could help you on the path of righteousness, not a father who is looking for housemaids and will turn you to one. No, I'm talking about a father whose interest is to see you rising and becoming what God wants you to become. A father who himself will take you farther than where you will have gone were you to travel alone. A father whose company becomes help to your life, who makes positive input into your life. Spiritual father. And that I found in the life of Saul. He was a choice young man. He knew he was young, and then he became the choice of his father. The third one, which is most important, is a relationship with the Father in heaven. I wish I could talk about that. I wish I could flog that over and over and over and over and over again. That seeth a man who is traveling far and farther than anybody could ever have imagined. That's a man who have chosen the Father of the fathers as his own habitation. They that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Those are the ones that will say, the Lord is my strength, the Lord is my rock, the Lord is my reward. He is the only person. That's the man that will step upon scorpion and adder, and he shall not be hurt. That's a man that will be satisfied with long life. That's a man that moon shall not smite by night and sun by day. That's a man that no matter the pestilence wreaking havoc around him, no evil shall come nigh his dwelling place. That's a man that will see thousands falling on his right hand side, 10,000 on the left hand side, and nothing shall befall him. No evil shall befall him, because he has made the Lord his habitation. I want to say to you that Saul, the son of Kish, was a choice man. Number three, he was a goodly person. So I realize that it is one thing for you to be a godly person. It is another thing for you to be a goodly person. Now, somebody may be handsome. It's all right. Somebody may be pretty. It's all right. But it could be pretty and be dirty. I hope you know that. It could be handsome and yet looking very offensive. That Saul was goodly tells me that he was neat. He was such a person who took good care of himself. Godliness has nothing to do with shabbiness. Holiness does not make a man hollow or shallow. It is not holiness for you to look dirty. You wore clothes yesterday, day before yesterday. You sweated on that cloth and it's beginning to smell. And yet you are still wearing it. That's not holiness, that's dirtiness. You may not wear expensive fabric and yet it could be neat. Am I correct? So, I'm saying to you that part of what we have found in the life of Saul, the son of Kish, is not all spiritual. There are physical qualities, and the Bible noted it, that he was goodly. He was looking neat. He was looking well cut his fingernails. His hair was well cut. And if it's a bit bushy, he has comb that he uses to comb his hair. He doesn't remove his leg from the shoes and the whole place is smelling. He said, no, it's not true. It's not true. What makes your shoe to smell are two things. Number one, you don't wash your socks regularly. Number two, you don't wash in between your toes. I don't think you have had a good wash when you don't wash in between your toes, because air doesn't blow there, and so it has tendency for it to harbor bacteria that will bring out such stench. You wash it regularly. You wash it regularly. Am I making sense at all? I know that You may not think that this has anything to do, but come to think of it, you meet a king and he's looking rough and ruffled. He will have disqualified himself as a king material if this aspect is left unattended to. How do I come to your house and I knock on your door, and for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you are keeping me outside because you are quickly putting things away? That's not life. What do I say? It's not life. I won't see death and I'll take my eyes off. We'll finish a retreat last Sunday, maybe as early as 1 a.m. and I couldn't leave the venue until almost 1 p.m. I was there because the brethren were there walking, parking, so I have to stay with them. I got to my house. Because we've left home for quite some time, I saw dust everywhere. Tired as I was, no, I wouldn't go to sleep that way. I took mopping stick. I started mopping the whole house. They said I should go out there and say, I can't see death and I will take my eyes off. It's not possible. We are not friends. We're not. It is, people will say cleanliness is next to godliness. Don't tell me you don't have money. You have hands to clean your house. You have hands to clean your clothes. You have hands to take good care of yourself. I'm a preacher, for instance, now, and so I will talk to people every time. If I'm talking to somebody and my mouth is smelling, how do you look at me? You say, but those mouthwash are expensive. I use hydrogen peroxide. It's just about 100 naira per bottle. And you can use a bottle for almost a week or two. That's all right. So even when I've used the toothbrush and the normal paste, I still use hydrogen to rinse my mouth, so that even if there are germs there that could call bad breath, that could control it. Of course, when you start to age, you start to have mouth odor. Am I making sense to you at all? Now that you are young, can you please set a standard for yourself, looking at the son of Kish and seeing that even though he didn't know that something was going to happen to him tomorrow, he had set his path on that, and God found him a king material that he could choose. And you notice that the Bible says in all Israel there was none goodlier person than him. Now the word goodlier is a comparative word. Am I correct? It tells me that God ensured that he set everybody besides Saul to check whether he will find somebody better. That was a competition that Saul was not aware was going on in the spirit. He didn't know that God was checking, comparing him with others. That it was when God didn't find anybody better at that time than Saul, that he also became the choice of God. It was first and foremost the choice of his father, and now the choice of the heavenly Father. So, why can't you set a standard? Why can't you set a standard that you will not go to school except your uniform is neat, and that you talking? I remember when I was in school, I joined a club. We call it JC's International. And it's a very expensive club to join, because you are going to pay 50 naira to join that club. 50 naira was a lot of money because my school fees were 50 naira as a polytechnic student. So I have to gather money and pay. Now, because they felt it's a decent club, we are told if you are coming to a meeting, you must be formal. You use your tie with your shirt, and if it's a native, you must put a cap on, and then you don't wear jeans to meeting. And you know, it's so funny that since that time, I've never used jeans. Now, I'm not saying it's bad to use jeans, but I just felt within myself that why won't I use jeans to meeting? And I'm talking about JCs. It's a club, it's a social club. It's not a Christian club, as it were. They are saying that it's not decent to wear jeans to meeting. You can wear it on campus, but when you are coming for meeting, you don't wear jeans. You must appear formal. If you are wearing English, it must be formal. If you are wearing native, it must be complete. That was good. But you see, I saw that they were teaching us to be decent. I just imbibed that. And that was my last. That was my last with jeans. I could use chinos, but I don't wear jeans. I'm not saying it is sin to wear jeans. Don't go and say, Brother said if you wear jeans, you go to hell. No. I'm not thinking that if Jesus were to be around, he also will wear jeans. He will identify with us that much. But I just, that instruction just brought something into me that made me to. And I'm saying that, I'm using that not to condemn jeans. I'm using that as an illustration that you can set a standard for yourself. And you can walk in that standard all time, all life. I just set it, and up to today, I have jeans. I buy jeans for my son. He has, in fact, he loves jeans more than any other thing. It's all right. I don't have a problem with it. It's not sinful to wear jeans. I repeat again. So if you have jeans, don't feel bad. Of course, we have brothers who came with me who are in jeans. So, but I'm only telling you that right from now, you can set a path for yourself, and then you can travel therein for the rest of your life. Am I making sense at all? And so it became the choice of God, because God checked everybody and he didn't find anyone better than Saul. That challenged me. If Christianity rises and falls with me, then I'm a better person. It means God looks at me as the Alpha and Omega of Christianity. But the truth is that there are other Christians elsewhere that God will compare me with. That's the challenge. So you cannot afford to be flippant about it. You cannot afford to rest on your oars. You can be a local champion. That's all right. But why don't you think about the larger society, that when you come into competitive markets, you may have a challenge if you are not at the tip top. People say there is no job in Nigeria. It looks so. But there are people who are looking for people to employ. I get that every time. I was hear people calling me like, Pastor, somebody still call me yesterday now, say, do you have so person in this category that you can recommend? They will ask me, because they know that if I recommend somebody, there is somebody that is recommendable. There are jobs, I tell you. There are jobs. You cannot come out with first class and then you tell me that you are jobless. It's not possible. Before you finish NYSC, job is waiting for you with your first class. We're talking about competitive market. Now, excuse me. If I want to attend to text messages, for instance, I could start as early as 9 p.m. and I could be on it till 5 a.m. the following day. Just reading text messages and responding. Because they come in torrents. So I allow them to pile for a few days and then I will start to respond. Now I wonder in my heart, there are many preachers around. Why should I be troubled? The truth is, even in preaching, you may make mistake of listening to one person one time and you tell yourself, I will not listen to him again. And then you can listen to somebody and say, again and again, I want to listen to this fellow. Am I making sense at all? It's about being excellent in whatever you are doing. You say you are a tailor, and all that you have is a butterfly single sewing machine. You are not a tailor yet. You are still an apprentice, because there are several machines to fashion designing than single butterfly machine. I don't know whether I'm talking sense. Am I making sense at all? You cannot stay where you are, and you are not doing something to improve yourself, and you will think people will look for you. They don't. Jesus said, what do you go to the forest, to the wilderness to go and see? A man dressed in linen? If you are looking for such, go to the palace. You'll find people who are well dressed in the palace. What do you go to the wilderness to see? A reed shaken by wind? Nobody does that. Nobody will leave the luxury of his house and go to the forest to be looking at grass. What do you go to the wilderness to see? A prophet? He said, I say unto you, more than a prophet. So I realized that what attracted people to the wilderness was not because they saw a prophet, but they saw a man who demonstrated something that is more than being a prophet. As a lecturer, if you don't demonstrate something more than a lecturer, no student will respect you. Of course, if you are in the academics, if you don't publish, you will perish. Am I correct? For those of you in the world of academics, you understand that you must publish, you must do researches. You can't sit down there and you think that something is going to jump on you anyhow. No, it doesn't happen that way. God compares Saul with every other person. There was no better person in Israel. God had no other choice than Saul. You can improve on yourself. The time you waste on WhatsApp, you can use it to improve on your life. Am I making sense? I know this is the world of social media, but I've also learned to use social media very sparingly and never to be addicted to any of it. I'm not on Facebook, for instance, because I want to face this book. I'm not. But I'm on that social platform. But if you catch me on WhatsApp, if you throw a question, I answer the first one. If you throw the second one, I'll just ignore you. Because nothing wastes a man's time like social media. I looked at it, I told myself, I said, this thing was not designed for you. It's designed for somebody else, not for you. So I have devised a means of using it. I use it sparingly. Of course. I want to say to you that if there is anything that God would desire to have of you, is to be the best that you can ever be. If I ask a sister to stand on this pew and jump down now, she'll be afraid. But if a snake enters here now, she scales over the highest of such objects with ease. Do you know why? Because there is an energy within that she calls for at the time of emergency. That energy has always been there, untapped. You can grow muscles. These tiny hands of yours can become muscular if you start to train it. The thing is there. It's only because we never tapped it. We never tapped it. So I tell myself, look, there is nothing that is not possible. And whatever I think I want to do, I want to be my best. I may not be the best, but I want to ensure that there is nothing inside that I've not poured into it. One of us taught us a song Many years ago, I was still in secondary school then. Give of your best to the master. I won't forget that song. I've forgotten the tune of the song, but I didn't forget the introduction of the song. The man stood up and said, we're going to learn this song, and the title is Give of Your Best to the Master. And he looked at us, young people, and said, you may never be able to give the best to God, but you can give your best to God. And right there I took a decision that if I can't give the best to my maker, I will be the best for him. The best I could ever be. The best message I could preach. The best book I could write. Somebody can write something better, but let it be that that's the best I can do. Let it not be that I can do it better than what I have done. No. That I have decided I will not condone in my heart. So I want you to know that it is only when people see that you have what they don't have that they will start to look for you. Am I confusing you? We're looking at the son, Saul, the son of Kish. That's what made him thick.
The burning of this book is born out of a compulsion under God to present the truth based on the word of God to people in every place, in order to give them opportunity to know and to do what is right and godly. Therefore, I trust that this book will be of help to you. You need to have a copy of this book. You need one for your house. You need one for your children. And it will surely bless you.
This program was brought to you by Potter's House Christian Mission, Betfage, Alata Village, off Ijebu-Ode, Ibadan Road, Adebayo Idiayure, Ibadan, Nigeria. We believe that the Lord has richly blessed and challenged your heart by today's telecast. For further inquiries, prayers, and counseling, please contact us on and God bless you.